Shukadaya Krishna Krishna Srimati Raghunath Swami Shukadaya Krishna Krishna Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Gauranga Charani Nirvisheshwara Sarvastani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sadguru Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Namo Shri Ram Shri Shri Srimate Radharani Shri Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Sachit Guru Charan Shri Satisfying Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Gauri Bharat Shri Sai Bharat Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari 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 Yashodhanandana Vrajjanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodhanandana Vrajjanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodhanandana Vrajjanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodhanandana Vrajjanandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna राधा गोपी वल्लभ की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्री निताय गौरंग भगवान की जय, ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते। कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्पिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Pastyatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara. Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rukum karoti vachalam pangam langayate girimyatkripahtamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Om apavitro pavitro va sarvavastham gatopi va yat smaret pundarikaksha sabhyabhyantaram suche. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for coming. Last week we had a wonderful yatra, to one day yatra kind of to Yadadri. How many of you came from here? Some of you came. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I would encourage, please try to make your time out and come to these kind of one day events. It was a wonderful visit. Many people have gone to Yadadri, but they told this time when they went it was different. Why? Because we were like 150 of us doing kirtan and entering the temple. Even the temple authority were astonished. What's going on here? Everybody was, what's going on here? Loud kirtan, right from the entry all the way to the up. If you have seen, there are multiple stairs, inner quarters, and finally there is a big courtyard, and from there we enter the temple, and we enter the temple, and still the kirtan is going on. So it was unbelievable. And then we had a beautiful discourse on what is the temple, what is the essence of this dham called Yadadri, by His Grace Madhav Gopinath Prabhu. He is one of my very, very close friends and very wonderful devotee. He also conducts similar classes in Singapore Township area of that side of the city. I'll say the eastern side of the city. We are on the western side of the city. So, in brief, he told about the great sage called Yadadri. And who is Yadadri? When Dashrath Maharaj wanted to have very capable sons who can do Pinda Pradhan for their ancestors, he was not confident on the capability of the existing children he had. Dashrath Maharaj had many wives, but prominent wives, are there, and he wanted to have those children. So he wanted very, very good blessings. And the sage who performed the ceremony to get those children for Dashrath Maharaj, Yadadri Rishi is the son of that sage. Right? And he actually, there is a whole story. I'm not going into the past of that sage and what happened before. But basically, this Yadadri Rishi, he wanted to have darshan of Sri Narsingadev. And he had that desire that I want to see the Supreme Lord in the form of Narsingadev. So when he had the desire, Narsingadev appeared in 5 forms in this particular place. Actually, it's not the Yadadri hill, it's another hill near to Yadadri hill where he appeared. It's a smaller hill. So he appeared there in 5 forms. One as Garuda Narsinga, you can say. The actual name is a little different, where he has wings. Lord Narayana has wings, and he's in Narsingdev's form. Right? So you can't imagine that form, but it's there. This form Lord had shown when he came to save Prahlad, when Prahlad was thrown into the ocean in, near Vishakhapatnam, Simhachalam. Near Simhachalam, when Prahlad Maharaj was thrown into the water, at that time, Lord Narayan, he did not have time to call for Garuda, his vehicle. So I'll only take the wings and I'll go. So he got wings and he came to save. So that form is there. Then Jwala Narsinga form is there. And then there is Yoga Narsinga form. Then Lakshmi Narsinga form. And Ukra Narsinga form. Ugra Narasimha is the whole cave itself. The whole cave and the whole mountain itself is Ugra Narasimha. So in 5 forms, the Lord has manifested there. Right? So that his devotee, Yadadri Rishi, gets an opportunity to worship. And it's many times in many places in India, so many Punya Kshetras are there, so many Shakti Stalas are there, so many places are there. These are all nothing but reciprocation of God towards a devotee. A devotee wants to see, so God appears there. Narad Muni wanted to see Krishna, so appeared as Jagannath in Puri. Right? So everywhere he appears, there is a whole dham that comes there. Yeah, some people were doing worship of Lord Narsimha in mode of ignorance, like killing animals and offering blood and all that. Due to that, Narsimha left from that dham and he changed that hill to another hill. So he came to this another hill called Yadadri, the current hill that we are seeing. So mystically it happened, and they could not find Narsimha there. They were worried, hey, what happened? Where did the god go? He didn't like the way he was being worshipped. And then some Vanvasis, they went on the hill and they finally saw that, there is some deities here. There is, different deities of Narsimha. And then they realized that actually Narsimha came from that hill to this hill. So again, they started the worship here. And this time, much more in a methodical way, the worship started. And recently, our chief minister built a huge, in competition to Tirupati. It's okay. Sometimes political competitions also work out for good reason. But anyway, it is nicely built, a beautiful temple now. A lot of facilities there. How many here have gone to Yadadri anytime? Yeah. Okay. So some of you have still not gone. You are in Hyderabad. You should go. Or maybe we all can make one more visit. Right? Some other time we can take it. It's just 1.5 hours from here. 1 hour 40 minutes. Right? And we can have nice prashadam there and a nice discourse there. Actually, when we went and sat in the courtyard, we were like around 150, 160 devotees. Everybody were watching us what's going on because discourse is going on. See, temple is meant for discourse. Temple is a place where you get education. But unfortunately, many temples are not doing that. There is Pitham. Pitham means a place where you can sit and talk. Right? The Pithadipati, they say. Pithams are there, but there is no Pithadipati. So they were all seeing what's going on there. And, some were taking pictures and we started chanting. We did one full round of Hare Krishna mantra loudly. Everybody took 10 minutes. And they were like, oh my God, what's happening here? We felt we inspired some people to do the right thing there. And a lot of monkeys came. I don't know if they were chanting. So they were busy taking pulihora. It's very famous prasad that you get in southern temples, South Indian temples is pulihora rice. There also in Yadadri get very, very nice. So that was our breakfast that day, most of us. So it was a nice yatra. So there are many other Punya Kshetras in and around Hyderabad, like 3-4 hours. Sometimes we should visit all these places and have mini yatras. Overnight is good, but even one day yatra we can do. Just go, have the darshan, and have some pravachan, nicely learn about the place, and then come back. There are many important processes for improving our bhakti towards God. One of the process is chanting. Second process is going to holy places also. And residing in holy places also is one of the process. And reading scriptures and serving a guru. All these things are very, very important process for you to inculcate bhakti. Otherwise, bhakti will not come. We'll only learn some things, gyan will come, but vigyan will not come, realizations will not come. This will only come when we come out of our houses and go to some places and are ready to take some austerity. Some austerity, meaning, okay, it's not comfortable, but Krishna, I've come here because I want you to be pleased. Right? When we go to any holy place, we should not look for a AC room with attached bathroom with hot water, 24 hours. No, that's not the goal. There you only look for how can I serve, how can I learn, how can I know more about you. That should be the consciousness. So maybe some other time, some other place. Yeah. So I think we finished till 6.15 last week. Is that right? 14 we finished. 13, 14 we finished. Yes. So we are talking about Dhyana Yoga, whereby we are discussing about how a yogi can connect with Krishna, right? In yoga path, Ashtanga yoga path. Let's go further. Yujan evam sadatmanam
Yujanevam sadatmanam
yogini yata manasa
yogini yatamanasa
shantim nirvana param paramam
shantim nirvana paramam
shantim nirvana paramam
shantim nirvana paramam
mat samstham adhigacchati.
samstha adhigacchati.
Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat after me. Thus,
Thus,
practicing constant control of the body,
practicing constant control of the body,
mind and activities,
mind and activities,
the mystic transcendentalist
the mystic transcendentalist
is mind regulated,
is mind regulated,
attains
attains
to the kingdom of God
to the kingdom of God,
or the abode of Krishna
or the abode of
by cessation of material existence.
cessation of material.
Right? So before this, it is explained how he does that, right? So one should hold one's body, neck and heart, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. So it's like very, 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 very austeritic, focused yogic practice, right? Devoid of fear. If you close your eyes and sit here for 5 minutes, you'll immediately open, waiting what has come near me. We are fearful of so many things in this material world. Very, very fearful, right? Where is this fear coming from? Because our mind is not in our control, right? So the one who has conquered his mind has conquered all the fears in the universe, right? And here, what is being Lord Krishna is telling, you can see me in your heart as Paramatma, provided you are devoid of fear and you are completely concentrating on me only. Your mind is on me only, nothing else. Your mind is not, going around here and there. Chanchal man. It should not happen. And next verse in verse 15, now that we read, he's saying, such yogi will attain the kingdom of God by cessation of material existence. He will go to the kingdom of God. Now, where is kingdom of God? Address है कुछ? Address है या ऐसे ही बाहर घूम के आओगे? बोलेंगे एक this kingdom of God. Srila Prabhupada gets into the purports. These purports you all should read sometime later. I don't go through the purport, it'll take more time. That's the only cause. But you should read the purport. The purport Srila Prabhupada explains where is the kingdom of God. Right? The kingdom of God is called Goloka Vrindavan. It's in the center of all the Vaikuntha planets. Even the Vaikuntha planets are part of the kingdom of God. Different mood in each planet. And that's called spiritual world. Right? And then there comes the material world. Now, how to go to that spiritual world? How many lokas are there? All 14 planetary systems within the material world, and then the layers that are there outside the material world, right? The layer of mind, the layer of intelligence, the layer of false ego, ahankar. Once you cross that layer, then you get so many oceans, right? Even within the material universe, to cross the material universe, you go through so many oceans. All this description is there. All this description is there in the Vedic scriptures. That is the beauty of Vedic scriptures, as compared to any Abrahamic religions where they don't have any definition of God. They don't know what more to understand about God. But here, the more detail is given about how do you reach there and how does it look like there. In Bhagavad Gita in 15th chapter, Lord Krishna even goes and explains the difference between material world and spiritual world, which we'll read going forward. He gives a glimpse, but the more understanding is there in Puranas and so many Upanishads. More and more explanation is there. The more deeper you want to go, right, the more deeper you get. So here, such a yogi can attain to the kingdom of God. So is it like distance? Is it like I have to travel for such a long time to reach God? No. Actually, the whole universe is God's kingdom only. But there is 1/4 of the kingdom, as explained in the scriptures, which is called material world. The moment we change our consciousness, we are in the spiritual world. The moment we are conditioned, we are in the material world. Right? To reach God doesn't mean you have to go planet after planet and go through fire. That is for somebody who wants to endeavor to do like that. Like Ravana wanted to go to Swarga. Right? There is a way to go to Swarga. You have to do some austerities and you can go to Swarga. But what did he do? He created a stairs. He created literally staircase to go to Swarga planet. And he could do that. Can anyone plan to do anything like that today? You can't. What is the tallest building in Hyderabad now? 36, maybe 40 floors. I don't know. something on the Nanakram Charasta 14 now. I think some 50, 60 floors are also coming. Maximum 100, or maybe Burj Khalifa is what? 150 floors. And what do you speak of stairs to the, what do you call that? To the Swargaloka, right? Can't imagine. But kings in those times could do such kind of things, right? But for a devotee, he doesn't need to, a devotee doesn't need to think about how physically he needs to reach, right? If he just becomes a devotee, automatic Krishna himself will come and take him, like he took Tukaram Maharaj, like he came to meet Prahlad Maharaj, like he came to meet Dhruva Maharaj, right? Like he came to meet Hanumanji, or he came to take Shabari, right? They all did not make any stairs. They just changed their consciousness. They are perfect yogis. A yogi doesn't have to be just about meditation. Yogi means the one who is fixed in his consciousness, right? Go to the 16th verse. Nati asnatastu yogi yogosti na chaikantam anasnata na chati swapna silasya jagrato naiva charjuna. There is no possibility of once becoming a yogi, O Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. So yoga means to regulate. Actually, this verse we use when we give seminars in corporates. Sometimes I'm called to give a seminar in corporate. That time they want to hear about yoga. Right? Yoga, people are fascinated to come. And they say, you have to learn from Bhagavad Gita. What is yoga? Yoga means, you have to regulate and you have to balance. What your body needs, you have to do. Too much stretching is also not good. Right? People think, oh, I'm stretching a lot, he's a great yogi. No. You should stretch only to a point where pain comes. If pain starts coming, stop. You don't understand? Yeah. Yoga means to stretch. To stretch out of what? Out of your comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone. Physical comfort zone, mental comfort zone. A yogi means the one who is ready to come out of his mental comfort zone. He wants to come out of his mental comfort zone. What does it mean to come out of mental comfort zone? What you like to enjoy, you want to renounce it for a higher purpose. Right? I like to do this, but I will not do this for a higher purpose. Isn't it? For example, for being good in society, is it difficult or no? It is difficult. Being truthful, is it difficult or no? It is difficult, right? But we take the difficulty for a higher purpose. That's called yoga. Yoga does not just mean stretching of body. It's also stretching of your mind, stretching of your comfort zone, right? I don't like to learn Sanskrit verses, but I will learn it because I want to please God. That is also yoga. Anywhere you go higher than your comfort zone, right? But you should come out of your comfort zone in a comfortable way. Right? It should not that suddenly I want to do yoga and I want to split my legs left and right. Kya hoga? I'll never get up only. Ambulance has to come, isn't it? Or I want to suddenly become a yogi and suddenly I want to chant 64 rounds every day. Right? We chant 16 rounds every day. 64 rounds I want to chant. You might chant 2 days. After that, you'll stop chanting only. Right? Anything you should do in a gradual way and reach that ultimate. Right? That's part of yogic practice. That's why you always need a yoga instructor. जो भी करना है instructor guru के नीचे करना है. Guru will tell how according to your body, according to your mind, according to your past, according to your conditionings, you can make progress. Yeah. So giving up things. So if he eats too much, eating too much, what will happen if you eat too much? What has yoga got to do with too much eating? Huh? See, what is the difference between spiritual person and material person? Let us take 10 answers. What is the difference between spiritual person and material person? But what comes to your mind? Anything? Huh? He knows the limits, okay. The sense gratification. Yes, he is more focused on sense gratification. Right? Spiritual person wants to control, regulate sense gratification. But why? What is wrong in sense gratification? Huh? You deviate from your purpose. Okay.
For a material person, purpose might not be clearly defined.
Okay.
But for a spiritual person, we should know that the purpose of my life is to worship my Lord.
Uh, no, nice, nice. You're all thinking. That's nice. Happiness from sense gratification is temporary. Spiritual person wants to attain eternal gratitude. Since happiness, he doesn't want temporary happiness. Yes, कुछ बोलना है आपको? अरे बाप रे, कोई तो सुन रहा है. Any other thoughts? What else is coming to your mind? What is the difference between spiritual person and material person? Yes, sure. Yes. Himself in between everything. Yes. Yes. What else? Spiritual person. Manotra ji, बताइए. Believes in God. Yes. Yes. No, all your answers are right. But one of the most important thing is spiritual person knows that he is not this body. Very important thing. He knows that I am part of God, but this body is not me. This body is temporary. So the very important aspect is, he always remembers that. And anything connected to this body, he sees it as temporary. So he doesn't get attached to this world. Whatever is happening, good or bad, paisa nahi hai, property nahi hai, like these are temporary things. Anyway, it will go one day. Anyway, I have to leave everything and go one day. I'm not this body. He's very, very clear on that. So activities which will make you think you are the body will make you a more materialistic person. Is that right? हम ऐसे काम करेंगे जिससे इंद्रिय तृप्ति होती है, ये हमको शरीर के बंधन में और ज्यादा बढ़ाएंगे, है कि नहीं? हमको शरीर बनाएंगे और भी, मतलब यही सोचेंगे शरीर की. लाइक एवरी मॉर्निंग आई गेट अप एंड ब्रेकफास्ट किधर है, मतलब व्हाट आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट माय बॉडी. बट इफ यू गेट अप एंड थिंक लेट मी प्रे फर्स्ट, and Krishna, if I deserve to have breakfast, it will come to me anyways. Now you are a different plane altogether. Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, jnanamaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha. Right? So there is koshas. There are different levels of consciousness. Right? You heard of these koshas? Yeah. So in SSR, I discussed in detail about what each one of these koshas are. But understand that a spiritual person knows that he is the soul, he is not the body. So he will not do most of those activities which are relevant more towards the body. He will only do that much which is needed for the body. A yogi means somebody who eats little or eats enough. Right? His concentration is not, आज lunch में क्या है, आज dinner में क्या है, अरे कुछ तो है, how does it matter? Something to eat and maintain the body. Right? Yogis, they are beggars. They like to be begging because they will get whatever they get. If they don't get, that's also okay. They're not behind buying grocery and making different varieties 3 times in a day. They're not behind it. They're not against it, but that is not their focus. That is not their focus. You understanding? So why is Lord Krishna telling here eating too much is bad? Is because eating too much means you are gratifying your tongue. And when your tongue is gratified, your belly is gratified. And when your belly is gratified, your genitals are gratified. And when your genitals are gratified, I want more sex life. And sex life means complete identification with body. You cannot think of sex life if you're only thinking about soul. It's only about body. The whole act is about body, isn't it? But that gratification comes when you are more gratifying your senses, starting with tongue. Right? Jiva vegam, manasa vegam. There is a whole science that if you control your tongue, you can control your belly. If you control your belly, you can control your genitals. This is science. Why people lose their control over senses is because they're not eating prasad. If they eat prasad, automatically you can control your tongue, automatically you can control your belly, automatically you can control your genitals. That's why saintly people don't eat outside. They don't eat outside. They're very clear. I want to eat only from devotees. It is cooked by devotees and it's offered to God only. I'll eat. I'll not eat. Why? Because they know it will affect. It will actually affect you. I don't know how many of you have realized. Sometimes if you go and eat in a hotel, suddenly your mood will change after that. You went in a good mood, but you'll start fighting and coming out. Something happened. You know what happened? The consciousness of the food. Food carries a consciousness, right? Or you eat too much, you'll immediately get sleep. Is that not right? Huh? So eating too much is bad. Eating too less is also bad. If your organs are not properly given enough food, then what? How will you control your mind? How will you do any meditation? How will you hear? Just imagine satsang without prasad. Right? Attendance automatically 10% हो जाएगा, है कि नहीं? मैं खुद नहीं आऊँगा. Prasad is needed, right? Because it gives you that nourishment, right? But what does the prasad have? It has blessings of Krishna. It is not any food that is made here and there. It is made, offered to God, and then it is sent here. With tulsi leaf, it is offered. God has accepted it, blessed it. So it goes into our body. It spiritually nourishes us. Spiritually nourishes us. So eating too much, eating too little. Sleeping too much. If you control your eating, automatically you control your sleeping also. Right? And sleeping too little. If people sleep less, what will happen to them? They'll go mad. They'll fight for everything, small thing. Because their mind will not function. Sleeping is a very important thing. A person who cannot get good sleep will not be in good health. And we all know with experience that if you sleep well, most of our diseases are automatically cured. Right? You are giving time for your body to heal itself. Your entire immunity depends on how good you sleep. Like I had a good sleep of 6 to 7 hours yesterday night. I got up, it was nice, good deep sleep. Then I finished my 16 rounds and I'm fully charged up today. Right? But if I sleep little, I can't chant also properly. Isn't it? My whole concentration will go up and down. Yeah, every day is not going to be same. We will have difficulties one day it is up, one day it is down. But a yogi will always want to have regulated sleep, regulated food. And automatically can control and make his life regulated. Some people tell, Prabhuji, spiritual life practicing very difficult. So why are you blaming God for that or are you blaming yourself for that? You have to fix your life. Of course, there are some phases. There are some phases in life where you cannot control your life. Like Sakshi Mataji had those twin children. Now they are controlling their life. For some more time, the children will control your life. You can't do anything. Oh, utha main uthi. Oh, soya main soi. Right? That's how it is, you know. But when you have a choice and still you are not regulating, then you cannot practice spiritual life. Then you cannot practice spiritual life. You have to make it regulated. Right? So Lord Krishna is telling here, for a yogi, there is no possibility of one becoming a yogi. O Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. Prabhupada explains how animals in a little way are better than humans. They eat how much is needed. Right? Other day I was watching this National Geographic channel. There is a lion is sitting there. Lion. And deer is walking around the lion as if it doesn't care. And the commentator was saying, it just had its meal. Lion just had its meal. Right? So once lion eats the meal, anybody, you can also go and sit beside it. It will not tell anything. At the most, it might, you'll have to go a little far. That's all. It will not come and eat you because it had its meal. But think about a human being. One gulab jamun. If you take another gulab jamun, what will happen? डाल दो. एक और ठीक है, ये हफ्ता चलता है. So we cannot control our senses like animals, but animals are better. You know that story, right? I mean, there is a truck going on with bags of rice, and suddenly one bag falls down, and there is a little hole and some grain comes out, right? So birds go, they pick up little grain and they'll fly away. One monkey will come, pick up fistful and fly away. One human will come, take the bag and run away. Kal ke liye bhi kam aayega na? Right? This is a very important verse. You can mark this. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasya karmashu yukta swapna bodhyasya yoga bhavati dukkha. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Right? So here, Lord Krishna is also telling eating, sleeping, and recreation also. Lord Krishna knows that we need recreation. Right? God is not so merciless that he says only do yoga, only eat, and only chant. No, he's saying recreation also. Right? But it has to be regulated. It has to be regulated. You can't start a party after 9:30. Right? Party time is party time. Sleeping time is sleeping time. If you don't do that, then you cannot practice spiritual life. Right? If I don't sleep till 2 o'clock in the night, how can I get up in the Mangalarati for Brahma Muhurta? I cannot do that. And if you do that, what will happen? You sleep too little. And eventually, in longer run, you will have a lot of body problems. Right? So Lord Krishna is very clearly, it's beautifully explained in simple words. Anybody can understand Bhagavad Gita if you read these verses. I'll read it again. He who is regulated in the habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and can work and mitigate all pains, all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Yada viniyatam chittam atmani eva vatistate nispara sarva kamebhyo yukta iti uchyate tada. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. Right? So here, Lord Krishna is telling that a yogi has to be well established in yoga, but how? By devoid of all material desires. See, spiritual life doesn't mean desireless. Actually, spiritual life means more desires. But desires in which there is a connection with God. That's very important. Right? In the purport, Prabhupada quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, 4th chapter, 18th to 20th verse. I'll read the translation below that you can see. King Amrisha, first of all, engaged his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then, one after another, he engaged his words in describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord, his hands in mopping the temple of the Lord, his ears in hearing of the activities of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the transcendental forms of the Lord, his body in touching the bodies of the devotees, his sense of smell in smelling the scents of the lotus flowers offered to the Lord, his tongue in tasting the tulsi leaf offered at the lotus feet of the Lord, his legs in going to places of pilgrimage and the temple of the Lord, his head in offering obeisances unto the Lord, and his desires in executing the mission of the Lord. All these transcendental activities are quite befitting a pure devotee. What did he leave? Choda usne. King Ambarish, this is how he used to live. Right? His desires are God's desires. Guru's instructions are his desires. Right? His eyes to see beautiful form of the Lord, his nose to smell the flowers and fragrance of the flowers offered to the Lord, everything in relation to Krishna. He is a perfect yogi. Can we become perfect yogis? Of course we can become. By attending this satsang in the morning, you already started the perfect yoga process, where you are hearing. You offer 2 organs, your 2 ears, you offer to Krishna. Okay, every Sunday morning, I'm going to sit and hear about Krishna. That's yoga. That is yoga. Connecting. Yoga means to connect. You are connecting yourself to Krishna. That's yoga. Of course, if you do Ashtanga yoga, that makes you more capable to hear even more clearly. There are some asanas, if you do, like Kapalbhati and all, which will make your concentration more. So if you do that and then start chanting, your chanting will be more powerful. But ultimately, chanting should lead to what? Love towards God. ऐसा नहीं कि बोल जाए हो गया मेरा चैंटिंग रख दिया वहां पे मेरा हो गया प्रभु जी मेरा हो गया 12 मेरा हो गया 16 नहीं that is useless. Ultimately that should result towards love towards Krishna, right? So yoga process connects you to God, and there are so many things which help you to perform yoga, which includes regulating your eating habits, sleeping habits, and regulating your other mind control activities also, and most importantly not to perform activities which are not conducive for your spiritual life. If you know it is not favorable, I will not do it. If you know it's favorable, I'll do it. Spiritual life all depends on choices, right? Just choice. What do you want to do? Between B and D, there is a C. Between birth and death, there is a choice. Whether you want to have another birth or you want to die again and again, in between C, you have to choose. What should I do? Right? Hare Krishna. यथा दीपो निवातस्थो निम्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मना. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendental self. Right? So, Krishna is giving an example of a lamp in a windless place. How do you see a lamp in a windless place? Beautifully shaped. It will not even move like a candle. Right? You put a candle inside your house. It's a beautiful shape. But in a windy place, how it will be? It will be like moving. There's another shape, right? So, same way, a person who has controlled his mind, a perfectly situated yogi, will not be disturbed with anything. He will be like perfectly situated, right? And he can achieve God. He can achieve God. Krishna is trying to explain us how we should always remain steady in our meditation on our transcendental self. We should only think about soul, not our body. Again and again thinking about bodily comforts will not help you. Text 20 to 23. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasyan atmani tushyati sukham atyantikam yattad buddhigrahyam atindrayam vedi yatra na chaivayam stitas chalati tattvataha yam labdva chaparam labhyam manyate nadikam nattatha yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate tam vidya dukha samyoga viyogam yoga samjitam Please repeat after me. In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities. By practice of yoga, this perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth. And upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain
don't let again.
Being situated
Being situated
in such a position,
in such a position,
one is never shaken.
one is never shaken.
Even in the midst of great difficulty.
Even in the midst of greatest
This indeed
this indeed
is actual freedom
is actual freedom
from all miseries
from all miseries
arising from material contact.
arising from material contact.
Hare Krishna. Now Krishna is talking about samadhi. He was talking about controlling of mind, controlling of senses, and then finally controlling the life air, and then finally coming to a point of samadhi where Lord Krishna is saying, this person in samadhi clearly knows who he is, why he is here, and what is the purpose of life. What are the three things he knows? Who he is, why he is here, and what is the purpose of life. He cannot be shaken. The one who understands Bhagavad Gita cannot be shaken by this world. He can lose everything, he can gain everything, but he will not be bewildered. It's very high state, very, very high state. He'll be always happy. Happy means what? Not smiling. He knows what's happening. Right? Some two people are coming and shouting at him. He'll just look at them and smile. He knows what's happening. What is happening? Their senses are troubling them. That's all it is. Their mind is troubling them. He will not get into a fight with them because their senses are troubling them. Right? To make such person angry is also very difficult. Right? To make such person disturbed is very difficult. He'll never get disturbed. He is doing what he's doing. He is not affected at all. Of course, you can't see such yogis too much outside today's day and time. It's very difficult to find such yogis because we are too much materialistic living right now. But such yogis will not be affected by anything that's happening around. Right? They're very fixed. Does it mean you'll find them only in forest? No. Does it mean he has to wear a dress like this and come? No. Or he should not wear any dress? Does it mean? No. It's about your consciousness. A Krishna conscious grahastha, a family life, performing family life, having children, doing a job, traveling, can still be a perfect yogi. Because he knows what he should focus in life. Even if he loses something, he is not disturbed. Even if he gains something, he is not overwhelmingly happy. You understanding? Even the greatest pain, say, of losing your child, will not disturb him. Because he'll understand the child was never mine. The child was given to me, the child is taken away. My parents are given to me, my parents are taken away. Knowledge is given to me, knowledge is taken away. Health is given to me, health is taken away. All these things are temporary because I am the soul. And soul doesn't have any death. I am a traveling person. I am traveling from body to body. It's very clear. It's not difficult. It's very difficult. I'm telling this is theory, but it's very difficult to be in that consciousness. And one reaches that consciousness, that's called samadhi. Khatam. Uska ho gaya journey. And then he can directly go to the spiritual world. He'll transcend to the spiritual world. But until then, you have to be here. Right? Now let us see what. Now the whole Prabhupada gave a huge purport explaining each one of the words. I recommend you to read it, but much more detail of what is the state of consciousness of such a yogi. Text 24. Sanischayena yuktavyo yogo anirvinna chetasa sankalpa prabhavan kamans tyaktva sarvan asheshata manashayvendriya gramam viniyamya samantata. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. Easy lag raha hai? We are going to plan from next week all these things. Control all the senses, control your mind in all directions, right? And undeviatingly, you should not miss a single class. You should not miss a single opportunity. You should not spend even 1 minute for sense gratification, right? Completely only focusing your mind, only focusing your mind on Krishna, right? Very, very target oriented. So this is what Lord Krishna is telling. 25. Sanai, Sanai, Sanair, Sanai, Sanair, Uparamayed, Sanai, Sanair, Uparamayed, Buddhaya, Dhriti, Grihitaya, Buddhaya, Dhriti, Grihitaya, Atma Samstam Mana Kritva, Nakinchid Apichintaye. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence, sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. Right? Fully focused. Fully focused. Krishna is taking you to the direction. Samadhi, you're only thinking about me. It's not like ek kone mein baith ke. No, not like that. That's not a thing. It's about how you are bringing Krishna into each part of your activity. Somebody is saying, okay, today afternoon let's go to that house for lunch. How is it relevant to my Krishna consciousness? Or okay, I'll go there, but what I should do there? Maybe I will talk to them about Krishna. Maybe I'll take a Bhagavad Gita and give them. Maybe that moment also I'll use some or the other way in service. You know what I'm saying? They are fully focused. Anything. We'll go to a movie. Okay, how should I make it Krishna conscious? Right? In that movie, can I keep a stall of books outside? Or can I see a movie that's relevant to Krishna? Right? If it is too distracting, too gory, too sensual, why should I see that movie? Which will make me feel that I am the body. Right? I open YouTube. I should not see unnecessary things in YouTube. I should focus only listening to lectures of some sadhus. Right? Now everywhere you're like completely fixed. You're not getting deviated anywhere. That is called samadhi. Lord Krishna is exactly saying nothing else. One should be fixed on self alone and nothing else. Sometimes being, what do you say, self-centered in spiritual life is needed. Because you have to be greedy. Laulyam. Greedy in spiritual life also is there. Greedy for what? My spiritual practices. Right? Today morning I was getting 2 calls. I know why they're calling. I didn't leave the call. Because I have to finish my chanting. If I take that call, आधा घंटा गया मेरा, right? And then again I have to find that half an hour somewhere else in the day. Instead, if I finish my minimum number of rounds that I have to do, then I can take any call. After that, I can chant more also, isn't it? So you should be greedy in spiritual life. For your own, what does it mean? Should think of nothing, fixed on self alone. Fix that you know that you are the soul. You should do activities relevant to the soul. Text 26. Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam asthiram tatastato niyamyaitad tatastato niyamyaitad atmani eva vasamnayet. From wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So Lord Krishna is telling the nature of the mind. Mind kya hai? Mind ka nature kya hai? It wanders. Mind wanders. Mind doesn't sit in a single place. Have you seen a monkey sitting at a single place? Monkey, have you seen monkey doing meditation? Like this. What is monkey doing all the time? Simply it will jump from here to there. There is no reason only sometimes. Monkey. Bandar ki tarah bolte hai na, bandar. Kya bandar ki tarah kood raha hai? We say that, right? Why do you compare? Because monkey is like that. You can't make a monkey sit at a place. If somebody says, I am God, somebody says, मैं भगवान हूँ, मुझे भगवान बोल के बोलो. एक बंदर ले गया उसके हमले लगा, उसको सीधा बिठाओ. Tell that fellow to make that monkey sit straight. Then I will claim that you are God. Why Lord Ram is God? He made billions of monkeys work for him. Just imagine. एक बंदर से हमारा हम कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते. Lord Ram could control so many वानर. That is why he's God. If somebody say, आजकल बहुत लोग पैदा होते हैं ना, भगवान ये भगवान वो, हाँ, उसको जाके बोले बंदर को कंट्रोल कर रहे हो. वो बंदर को छोड़ो, तुम्हारे जो हेयर है वो झड़ने से रोको. Stop your hair from becoming grey. You can't do that also, right? So Bhagavan word should not be used cheaply. Unfortunately, today many such words are used cheaply. Bhagavan, Maharshi, what is that? Jagat Guru, kuch bhi. Sitting in Nanakram Muda, can I call someone Jagat Guru? Jagat Guru, Leelanand Das. कोई पागल उसको बोलेगा भी. One fellow will come. हाँ प्रभु जी आप जगत गुरु. हाँ क्या समझे? चलो प्रसाद. This nonsense is going on, right? इतना बड़ा दाढ़ी बढ़ा दिया, इतना बड़ा टोपी लगा लिया, बन गया जगत गुरु. हाँ 5-10 लोगों को पकड़ लिया, यहाँ पे YouTube वीडियो बना दिया, फेमस हो गए, जगत गुरु, right? और महर्षि, सिद्ध ऋषि, prefix लगा लिया. You only will keep your own prefix, right? And you'll become something. Bhagavan, this one fellow also calls him Bhagavan. A lot of people call him Bhagavan. Bhagavan, something. And he says, somebody went, are you Bhagavan? No, I'm not Bhagavan. Then why are you allowing them to call Bhagavan? No, they are calling. अच्छा लगता है. This is nonsense. When somebody went and told Prabhupada, you are God, you know what Prabhupada did? He removed them from ISKCON. So nonsense it is. God is only one. We're all servants of God. हम सभी दासानुदास हैं. कोई भगवान नहीं बन सकता. भगवान बनता नहीं है, भगवान होता है. You cannot become God. Prabhuji, I am doing meditation now. By end I will become God. Really? Hare Krishna. Unfortunately, it's going on all these things. So from wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. You have to bring it back. Monkey ko pad ke bithana hai. So when you're chanting also, it goes everywhere. Huh? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, वो चला गया वहाँ पे, घर चला गया, ऑफिस चला गया, right? या फिर your best of the planning happens during chanting only. I don't know if you realize that, right? Tomorrow planning, yesterday regretting, present, depression, right? Some fellow told something in 3rd grade. That fellow will come in your mind. I will take care of that fellow, right? Or husband and wife, all disputes will come when you're chanting only, right? All things will, this, that, the argument, mother-in-law, father-in-law, pura during chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Kya ho gaya, Prabhuji? Mother-in-law, I remembered. Yes, mind's nature is that. Mind will go everywhere. What you have to do? Pull that mind back. पकड़ के लेगा, बैठ के सुन, नाम को सुन. हरे कृष्ण, कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे. You are hearing the names, the syllables. नाम नामकारी बहुड़ा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रात्मा नियमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवान ममापि दुर्दैव निदृशं जानन अनुरागा. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, in those names, Krishna has invested all his energies. Oh Krishna, I am so unfortunate, I have no attraction for them. Durdaiva midrisham hejanan anuraga. मेरे को कोई रस नहीं आ रहा है. Krishna, please give me the taste. Give me the taste of chanting your names. And He will give you one day. Yes. Text 27. Prashanta manasam hyenam yoginam shukham uttamam upaiti shanta rajasam brahma bhuta akalmasam. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme, and thus he is freed from all reactions of fast deeds. Right? So what happens to one person who fixes his mind like that? He attains the highest happiness. बहुत खुश हो आप लोग, सभी लोग खुश होना है ना. You all want to be happy? Should become a yogi, right? And what does he do? He is beyond the mode of passion. Mode of passion मतलब रजोगुण. रजोगुण का क्वालिटी क्या है? Endless desires. Endless desires. Are you happy with your car? Pick your hand. Sachin? Very happy. If you are happy with your car, that's where it starts. Are you happy with the interiors in the house? दो योगी बैठे हैं यहाँ पे हर चीज के लिए हाथ उठा रहे हैं. Are you happy with your wife? Are you happy with your husband? Are you happy with your child? Okay, this is very difficult. Are you happy with your neighbor? रोजी बस सब बहुत हो गया, इससे ज्यादा टेस्ट मत करो. Are you happy with the management committee? छोड़ो. Hare Krishna. So yogi means he is completely happy. He is beyond the mode of passion. It means he is controlling his desires. He's controlling his desires. Right? And thus he is freed from all reactions of past deeds. Prabhus, the day you surrender to God, your entire karma balance is burnt. Burnt. कुछ भी पाप किए हो, कुछ भी reaction आना है, कुछ नहीं आएगा. You understand? Everything is gone. The moment Krishna only can do that. He can burn your karma off. Your entire past lives, whatever nonsense we did, everything is burnt. And now you are completely ready to go to Krishna. But for that you should become the devotee. 28. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmasha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. Thus the self-controlled yogi constantly engaged in yoga practice becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. So he is completely aloof of material contamination. A devotee, even though sometimes is working in a company, he is asking others to work hard. He is doing so many activities which might look like any other activity of external person, but he doesn't get any karma. Doesn't get any karma because his life itself is given to Krishna. Any other activity will create karma, but if you are a devotee, no creation of new karma. Akarma. Everything is akarma. Akarma means what? I am doing it for Krishna. Why am I earning money? To earn money to make sure my family becomes Krishna conscious. To become Krishna conscious, I have to take them on a yatra. For that yatra, I need to buy a flight ticket or a train ticket. For that, I am working, give me salary. Everything he connects. He links everything. I want to buy dresses. What kind of dresses I want to buy? Those dresses which will make me feel less sensual. Less sensual means what? I'm only covering my body. I'm not disturbing anybody else also. I am wearing such a clothes which will not disturb it. Because if somebody else gets disturbed, I'll get karma. Isn't it? If I wear revealing clothes and somebody else's husband gets disturbed looking at me, he expects the same thing from his wife, and his wife say, "Bhad mein jao." Marriage gaya bhad mein. Right? You understand it? And because their marriage went for a toss, you will get the karma of that. And what is the karma of that? Next life you will get divorced. Everything has a reaction. Prabhu, everything has a reaction. Nothing is going without reaction. Right? You are speaking in such a way, you are attracting somebody. You are disturbing that person's mind. And because that person got disturbed, in his family went and created some nuisance. And because of nuisance, somebody committed suicide. You will get the reaction. So yogi knows how not to agitate anybody. You understand? There is no end to these examples. You can keep going. Even in the office, even in the house, be careful about your dealing. And yogi is very mindful of that. A devotee is very mindful of that. I don't want to disturb anybody else. Right? For that matter, money matters. At one point, it goes one point. Okay, keep the money. No problem. I don't want to, mess up my mind to get that little extra 2 pennies. Take it. Because why he says that? Because he knows if I deserve it, Krishna will give me anyways. If I deserve it, Krishna will give me anyways. I don't need to worry about too much. So he gives the onus on Krishna. 29. सर्वभूतस्थं आत्मानं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि इक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शन. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. Self-explanatory, right? He sees everywhere. In everything there is Krishna. In Vijayata, dal ka packet also there is Krishna. How? Who gave that dal? Krishna. Right? In your wife also there is Krishna. Who gave that wife? Krishna. Who gave that husband? Krishna. Who gave those parents? Krishna. Who gave the speaker? Krishna. I'll be careful in handling this. I'll be respectful to everything. Right? Sadhu means what? He is respectful to everything. He sees Samadarshina. He sees Krishna in everything. Material things also he'll see Krishna. Right? And that's when he can control his mind. Otherwise, you can't control your mind. It has to be 30. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pranasyami sa cha me na pranashyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Beautiful verse, right? You can frame it in your house somewhere. Daily morning read this. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor he ever lost to me. So Krishna conscious person, Krishna is always with him. That's why we should never commit offenses against a devotee. If you commit offense against a devotee, Krishna will be very displeased, because Krishna is always the devotee. And what does it mean to commit offense against a devotee? What does it mean? Devotee के ऊपर चिल्लाना नहीं क्या? मैं कोई पागल काम करूंगा, मैं am not a devotee, but still कोई पागल काम करूंगा, मेरे ऊपर नहीं चिल्लाओगे? चिल्लाओगे. So what does it mean? Not being offensive to a devotee. What does it mean? Anything you do, please remember this. Anything you do which will decrease or demotivate him to become Krishna conscious is Vaishnava Aparadha. Understood? By your actions, if somebody stops coming to satsang, that's Vaishnava Aparadha. Because of your behavior, somebody's spiritual life is checked. That's Vaishnava Aparadha. Right? Sometimes when we go on yatra, somebody is not doing, hey, Prabhuji, kya hai Prabhuji? Kitne bar bola? That's not Vaishnava Aparadha. Because that's normal dealing. You have to do what you have to do. But if I'm saying something that he stops coming to satsang, or I ridicule him, or I make him demotivated, he is so sinful, kya tumhara hoga? That is Vaishnava Aparadha. Right? Stopping somebody's spiritual journey is Vaishnava Aparadha. Can you remember this? And Krishna is always with his devotees. So make sure, if a sadhu comes, if you're not respectful towards the sadhu, if you're behaving in a way that will agitate the sadhu, then you are checking his spiritual life. Then it's a Vaishnava Aparadha. That's why when a sadhu comes, especially in saffron, where is a brahmachari or sannyasi, husband and wife should not stand ek upar, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. No, should not do that nonsense. Do that in your bedroom, not in front of a sadhu. Why? By doing so, you are agitating his mind. You can, Prabhuji, वो तो साधु है, वो साधु ही है, तुम उसको क्या कर रहे हो? What are you doing? Right? Or feeding too much sadhu. If sadhu says don't give, don't give. नहीं Prabhuji, थोड़ा और लो ना. I'm telling you no. Right? Don't go beyond that, because he is trying to control his senses. Atyahara, he doesn't want that. Right? So, and you should ask what you want to eat, not what you want to give. 15 gulab jamun डाल दिया, Prabhuji मेरा सेवा है, आप खाओ. अरे, right? It's not right. So you should know.
How do we recognize a true sadhu? I mean, just by dress we cannot recognize.
We can't recognize by dress by looking at his activities. कि उनका दिनचर्या देखो, उनका पूरा जो दिन में एक्टिविटीज है उसको देखो. What is his priority? And what does he talk mostly? Mostly what does he talk? How much he does not talk material things.
But if somebody comes to our house suddenly, we cannot observe him now. So how do we do that? Whether he is a true sadhu or
So we should be careful in all behaviors. We ourselves should talk less material things. है कि नहीं? अभी आप लोग यहाँ बैठ के सोचो क्या आज सुना, राइट? और भी उसके बारे में बात करो घर जाके. और कोई आएगा घर पे आज, हाँ जी कैसे हैं जी अनुराग जी, क्या हाल चाल, बैठो आज मैं योगी के बारे में सुना. अरे मैं वो भाग जाएगा. या तो वो भाग जाएगा या फिर डिवोटी बनेगा, है कि नहीं? You will focus only on giving Krishna to everybody. And of course, you will also talk normal things, but only how much is needed. Only how much is needed. अरे साहब वो ब्लॉक 4 में वो दोनों लड़, मुझे क्यों बोल रहे? जरूरत नहीं है. Tell me what is needed for you. अरे ये सोसाइटी में रहते हैं, आपको नहीं मालूम चाहिए ये भी मुझे नहीं चाहिए बाबा. हर किसी के घर का चर्चा मुझे नहीं चाहिए. मेरे घर में करंट गया, मेरे घर में प्रॉब्लम है, मेरे लॉन में प्रॉब्लम है, रिपोर्ट करो या अच्छे तरह जितना चाहिए उतना ही. योगी इज वेरी क्लियर हाउ मच ही वांट्स टू इन्वॉल्व इन एनीथिंग, हाउ मच ही वांट्स, हाउ मच ही डज नॉट वांट, राइट? दिस इज आई एम इनटू एवरीथिंग बट आई एम ट्राइंग टू अवॉइड माय सेल्फ. नहीं यार मेरे को ज्यादा नहीं करना, क्योंकि यू नो देयर इज नो एंड टू इट. But sometimes in an office, for example, you have to get involved into too many things. But you should also be focused. How much should I go? You can tell your boss, enough. I can't go beyond this. I'm good at doing what I'm doing. I'll do this much. You can say that. Sometimes that is also good. You should check. You check yourself and set an expectation. But if your desires are endless, you want a villa in Chellapur, तब तो कुत्ते की तरह काम करना पड़ेगा. उसमें कोई डाउट ही नहीं है कि नहीं. So we have our desires will determine what we want to be in life. अच्छा होगी इंग्लिश. हाँ. So which verse? 31. सर्वभूत स्थितं यो माम भजति एकात्वम आश्रिता सर्वथा वर्तमानो अपि सयोगी मये वर्तते. डिस्को डांस चलो गया. Now we all become yogi and concentrate. Such a yogi who engages in the worshipful service of the super soul, knowing that I am the super soul, are one. I and the super soul, are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. Right? So he is very focused. Basically, Krishna is more and more telling that this yogi is always worshipping me, and he always knows that me and God are one in union. Right? I'm coming from him. I'm not God. I'm coming from him, and I'm always clear on what I need to do to God, how I need to serve God. आत्म उपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति अर्जुन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमो मता. He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress. O Arjuna. Right? So if somebody is going through some suffering, what a yogi will do? He'll try to help him. But at the same time, he'll also understand he's going through because of his karma. You can't go and tell people, suffer, karma, suffer. You're not telling them. You know that he's going through because of his karma, but you'll be compassionate to him. You'll go and give him faith that, Dheeraj rakho, sab theek hoga. And whatever is happening for good only. Don't worry. We are with you. I am with you. Whatever I can do, I'll do for you. Right? That is called being a true friend. Just going and helping. भगवान तो एकदम बेकार है, मैं हूं ना तेरे लिए. That is nonsense, right? We should always tell that God is with you, even in difficult times, and I am there to help you. That is being a true spiritualist. So his reaction to good and bad in somebody's life will be same. You understand it? Because he understands the higher part. अभी तक बहुत बोल दिया. Lord Krishna has spoken a lot now. Now Arjuna is going to speak on our behalf. Let us see what Arjuna will tell. Arjuna uvacha yo ayam yogastat tvaya prokta samyena madhusudana etasyaham na pasyami chanchalatvat sthitam sthira. Loudly recite after me. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me. For the mind is restless and unsteady. Is Arjuna speaking on our behalf or no? Right? He is being practical. Hey Krishna, क्या बता रहे हो तुम? ये योगा के तरह इसे फोकस रखो, ऐसे डिजाइन नहीं होगा कृष्णा मेरे से. Arjuna knows that we'll sit in Gauri Doti and discuss this in 2023. He knows. हमारे तरफ से बोल दिया. Krishna, enough is enough. नहीं होगा मेरे से. Tell something because my mind is not in control, रे बाबा. My mind is not in control. How do you expect me to practice all this? Right? So if somebody says Bhagavad Gita is impractical, tell him this verse. There is somebody speaking on our behalf also. Verse 34. This is very, very famous verse. You should learn this. Chanchalam hi tasyaham nigraham manye vayor iva dushkaram. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. ये mind किसी को नहीं छोड़ेगा, है कि नहीं? How many times you are sitting in your balcony and you went into depression, thinking about something that will happen. Thinking about something that will happen. A student is thinking, I will fail in my NEET exam. Even before the exam. A person is thinking, I will fail in the interview. Even before the interview. Right? A person is thinking, oh my God, a disease is coming to me. Even before the disease came. How many of you felt this? This mind is like that. Nonsense it is. Again, it will not stop. It will make you feel miserable. Right? So you are very strong also. It's not normal. It's very strong. At that time, your friend will come and tell, hey, what is going on? Hey, what did I do? I just came and how are you doing? Immediately shouted. Because it is so strong, it controls their intelligence also. Again, so Arjuna is telling Krishna, I can control the wind, but I can't control the mind. Can anybody here control the wind? So we are worse than Arjuna also. Again, Arjuna could control wind with his arrows. He shoot an arrow and he create a ball, he can control the wind. We can't control anything. Right? So look at our situation. You know what is the biggest disease in the world today? Increasing day by day. How many of you know that your neighbor is already mental? And you are also fully mental. How many of you know? You don't know, right? It is the truth. I'm telling you. People have so many mental problems today. They are in so many depressions. Their mind is totally conquered them. Right? So if young girls are looking for marriage, try to marry somebody who is less mental. Who is mental he'll be. If he is not reading Bhagavad Gita, he did not understand what is mind, he'll pakka be mental. There is no doubt about it. Right? So we have to choose the less mental among mental. So let us see what Lord Krishna is telling the answer to all the mental people who are not able to control their mind. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asamsayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihyate. So Lord Krishna's greatness is, sorry, don't repeat. I want to say, Lord Krishna's greatness is, he admits the problem and he also gives the solution. Right? That should always, we should also learn communication through Bhagavad Gita. When somebody comes with the problem, don't deny the problem. Hey, kya problem hai tumhare liye problem? No. Problem. And then tell the solution. See what Krishna is telling. He's telling, repeat after me. Lord Krishna said, "Oh mighty arm son of Kunti,
O mighty arm, son of Kunti,
it is undoubtedly very difficult
it is undoubtedly very difficult
to curb the restless mind.
to curb the restless mind.
But
But
it is possible
it is possible
by suitable practice
by suitable practice
and by detachment."
and by detachment.
So he's telling, Abhyasena, right, and Vairagyana. Abhyasena means practice, and Vairagyana means renunciation, detachment. It is possible, but by the way, address the problem. Problem is there. Krishna didn't say, your mind is a problem, my mind is not a problem. He didn't say like that. He said, it is difficult to control the mind, but not for God. For God, there is nothing called mind control. But he knows that we are all needing mind control. We all need mind control. Mind control against greed. Mind control against pride. If somebody comes and praises you, right, immediately you should think of what? All the bad thoughts that come to your mind, all the bad habits that you cultivate within your heart. You should immediately remember that. And then you should feel, he is not seeing all those things, that's why he's praising me. Right? You should immediately think of those things. You should not think, mere se, wo kya gana hai? Mukaddar ka sikandar koi nahi hai. Hai ki nahi? No, not like that. You should know what you are. If somebody praises you, immediately, "Arey, this person is so great that he's seeing a lotus in drainage." Right? He's seeing lotus in drainage. My whole face, my body is like drainage. In that he's seeing something nice. How great he is. Somebody sees good in us. Right? So you should be like that. So Lord Krishna is telling, Bhaiya, it is difficult, but it can be done. By what? By two things. What are the two things? Practice. And practice of what? Chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You should chant every day, chant with concentration, and that practice will one day control your mind. And detachment. Don't be attached to too many things. Good or bad, don't be attached. Hua. Chalta hai. You know? Don't get too much agitated by everything. 36. Asamyatatmana yogo dushprapa iti me mati vasyatmana tu yatata sakyo avaptum upayata. For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion. So Krishna is telling that you can control by practice and you can control by detachment. And when you control the mind, pakka you'll achieve your goal. Is reassuring. But mind control is the most important activity in yoga that we should understand. Yoga does not only mean exercises, but also mind control. If you don't do mind control, then you are not a perfect yogi. Let us see what Arjuna is going to tell now. What do you think Arjuna will ask? Anybody? You can't think. Arjuna is too scholarly. Let us see what Arjuna will ask. Arjuna uvacha ayati shraddhayo peto yuga chalita manasha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Now Arjuna is asking for insurance policy. What is he asking? Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection and mysticism." Right? What is he asking? Okay. What is the destination of a person who started his spiritual life but he could not achieve the finishing point. He got deviated, or his mind deviated him. What happens to the unsuccessful transcendentalist, unsuccessful yogi? What happens to people who came to satsang and stopped coming? क्या होगा उनका? Will they get anything or they lost everything? What does it mean? What is their destination? Right? That is the question. Now Lord Krishna is going to answer. He'll further go on. Kachinnobhya vibrastas Chinnabram iva nashyati Apratishto mahabaho Vimudho brahmanapati. O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere? Practically is asking. प्रभु जी सत्संग में बोले ज्यादा डिजायर मत लेकर आओ, मैं चैंटिंग भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ऑफिस में काम भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मिटेरियली गया, स्पिरिचुअली गया, मेरा क्या होगा कालिया? Like the cloud, there is a small cloud and wind came, it's gone. Now what is the use of the cloud? It did not produce rain, it did not give shade, and suddenly it disappeared also. Okay? So what happens to such kind of people? He na ghar ka, na ghat ka. Okay? This is a practical question or no? Etan me samshayam Krishna Chetum arhasi aseshata Tvad anya samshayasyasya Cheta nahi upapadyate Cheta nahi upapadyate. This is my doubt. O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Why is Arjuna telling this? Except you, nobody can destroy, because he knows Krishna can tell. Okay, you know what? Go and ask Yudhishthira. Or I'll tell you tomorrow. I don't think I have. No, Krishna, you created this situation now. You told me what is perfect yoga. Now I am scared that if I cannot complete my whole yoga, mera kya hoga? Right? Where am I going to go? What is my destination? Please tell me what is my destination. And you only have to tell. See, that's actually total surrender to a guru. You only have to tell. Please don't stop the class. Pura bol ke jao. Kya hoga mera? Like that. 40. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Parthanaiva Namutra Vinashastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschid Durgatim Tata Gacchati. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world nor in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So he is giving assurance that Arjuna, don't worry. If you are engaged in transcendental activities means what? Not for any material gain. You are not coming for any material gain. You are only coming here to learn Bhagavad Gita, to learn what is bhakti, to how to become a better person. How to become a better person, a better devotee. These are transcendental activities beyond time and space. Transcendental beyond time and space. If you are engaged in such kind of activities, you are not lost anything. Right? And always good will happen to you. Don't worry. Not only in this world, even in the spiritual world. Right? This is the first answer he is giving. Let us see what else he says. Right? Prapya punya kritam lokan usitva shashvati sama suchinam Shrimatam Grehe Yoga Brashto Abhignate. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living beings, on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. So Lord Krishna is telling, if you perform spiritual life and you're unsuccessful, you could not control one sense, or some anarthas did not go. You could not control your anger completely. You could not check your desires completely. What will happen to you? You'll pakka go to Swargaloka. Of this there is no doubt. You'll go to Swargaloka. Why? You'll go relax there. Where there is no jara, there is no vyadi. No old age, no disease. You will have good peaceful time. Right? And from there, you will again take birth. After many years, you'll enjoy that. And then you will come back. You will come back where either you will take birth in a devotee family or you will take birth in a very, very rich aristocratic family. Right? That is how people become rich. Don't think, Ambani's son, aise Ambani ka son ban gaya. No, something he did in past life. It's God's reciprocation. Once one devotee was telling Prabhupada that Queen of England is such a materialistic lady. Like that I told. She might be materialistic, but immediately Prabhupada said, no, don't speak loosely about rich people also. Especially dynastic. She must be a great yogi in past life. Because of which Krishna gave the position to her. Why Krishna gives a rich position? So that you don't need to think about roti, kapda, makan. You can nicely come to satsang classes. Again, you can nicely make progress in spiritual life. Krishna gave so many flats and so many crores and crores flats. For what? So that you can come and learn about Bhagavad Gita. You understanding? But if you lose that opportunity, then what will happen? You will not get that kind of life again. You will have to struggle for roti kapda makan. Right? From Krishe to slum. What is difference? In between there is a wall, that's all. You will go and take birth in slum. If you take birth in slum, can you attend classes? Very difficult, because you have to work for roti kapda makan. But if you are given good opulence, then use it for God's purpose. This is not my statement, it's coming from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling, I will give you birth in a rich family. Why? In purport, Prabhupada explains that when you are rich, you don't need to work hard, you can spend more time on spiritual life. But there is a problem. What is the problem? If you are rich, what is the problem? You have too many choices. Right? You need too many choices to enjoy. Right? 1 week Mauritius, 1 week Singapore, 1 week Dubai, 1 week, I don't know. Then Prabhuji, satsang, coming this Sunday? No, Prabhuji, I'm going to Mauritius. Prabhuji, but next week I think Prabhu I'll come because I'm very busy. Right? So you complicate your life more when you become rich. That is a very difficult problem also. Again, text number 42. अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरम् लोके जन्म यद् ईदृशम्. Now, Lord Krishna is telling this statement. Bhagavan is telling. What is he saying? Or if unsuccessful, after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. Krishna is telling he'll take birth in a devotee's family. But devotee's family will continuously conduct satsangs in the house. This fellow will make progress from there. So what is higher than being rich? Krishna told you will take birth in a rich family. But he's saying, but if you are really devotional, you really went a lot of way in the spiritual life, you'll pakka take birth in a devotee family because you'll continue the journey. Prabhuji and Mataji, don't be in the illusion that you're coming to this satsang because you wanted to come to satsang. You are made to come to satsang. Because something you did in your past life, that Krishna is now reciprocating. Okay, now is the right time. Let them go. Right? Till now you did not come, but now you are coming. And some people will come till now and they'll go. Don't worry. Krishna will not leave them. Next life he'll catch them again. Or in next complex, next city. Somewhere he'll catch them again. Continue the journey. Spiritual journey doesn't stop. Unless you do one thing. Spiritual journey never stops unless you do one thing. You do Vaishnava Prad. Then your spiritual journey stops. For a long time it will stop. For a long, long time. Vaishnava Prad means what? What did he tell? What is Vaishnava Prad? To stopping somebody's spiritual progress. If you did that, then Krishna will immediately stop you. If somebody comes here and finds fault, these people always come late, or these people, what, I don't know what they think. These people eat too much. These people, are not. What is your business? You sit and listen now. Okay, you are thinking like that. One day you'll go and tell that person. See, what's in your mind will come one day on your mouth also. We'll go and tell that person. क्यों आते प्रभु जी अगर serious नहीं हो तो? And because of that word, that person stops coming. You did Vaishnava. Everybody is going through his own journey. We can encourage. We can always tell, प्रभु जी माता जी जल्दी आओ, ताकि जल्दी चालू करेंगे, जल्दी खत्म करेंगे. बोल सकते हैं, इसमें गलत नहीं. But don't ridicule to such a point that the person stops coming only. You understand? Vaishnava. If you do that, then your spiritual life is checked. But if you're always respectful and encouraging others, and you're encouraging yourself, then your spiritual life will continue. Are you all clear? Yeah, you can read in the purpose, further explained. 43. Tatratam buddhi samyogam labhyate purvat dehikam yatate cha tato bhuya samsiddhau kurunandana. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success. O son of Guru. So nobody's spiritual life stops. So you read Bhagavad Gita till 6th chapter in this life. If you stop coming to satsang after this, in next life, where will you start from? 7th chapter. You will start from first only, but till 6th you will say, Prabhuji, samajh mein aa raha hai, aage jao. 7th chapter will say, Prabhuji, ab thoda dheere jao. Because I want to learn now. You understand? Some people will automatically come to satsang. Some people will go and tell, Prabhuji, I say Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji, when is it? I want to come. Where is it? It's a little far. I will still come. Please tell me, where is it? Why? Because they're already ready. From their past life memories, from the past life memories, they're already ready. Some people you go and tell them every day also. You give them, 20 tons of prasad also. Kuch farak nahi padega. They'll not come. Because they have not yet started their spiritual life. Because they've done some aparats in the past life, they're cursed not to come. But a devotee can relieve them of a curse. By what? By giving them prasad. That's why I tell, please take your prasad to your house also. Give it to everybody in the house. Because their past life karma will be relieved. They will be given an opportunity. Don't think this is ordinary food. This is sanctified blessing of God. And even our Krishna consciousness will go forward. Right? So a journey of a transcendentalist continues. That is what Lord Krishna is telling. 44. Purva bhyasena tenaiva hriyate hi avasho apisha जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्द ब्रह्माति वर्तते. By virtues of divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. Right? Some people automatically they get up in the morning. Some children they automatically get up in the morning. You don't need to do anything. You don't have to teach them also. Some people sleep as soon as it's night. They'll become sleepy and say, "I'll go and sleep." Hey, picture dekhte na, fine. I don't know. Some people don't eat more. They have not come to any Bhagavad Gita class. They don't eat more. If you give them also, no, I don't want. Some people are averse towards junk food. Some people only like prasad. I don't know. I've seen people who did not never attended Bhagavad Gita class, but they only like prasad. They'll go to temple, eat nicely. Right? They don't eat out. Some people are averse towards eating out. Sattvic living. Some people are sattvic by nature. They don't. Some people are very calm by nature. You can see them. These people are what? These people actually practice spiritual life in the past life. Somewhere they could not finish their spiritual life. So they are continuing. Such people, when they call them to satsang, they will immediately come. For them, this is like a natural thing to accept. Are you all following what I'm saying? You can see in people these qualities. And when you see them, you can automatically see that they are coming. And some people, externally, they might say reject everything. They might eat non-veg, they might drink alcohol, they might have all bad, association. But the moment you tell them about Krishna consciousness, they might suddenly come also. How is that possible? That is also possible because Krishna has kept that past impression inside. Suddenly they might come. So the saransh of what I'm trying to tell is, don't judge others. Just because you're seeing them as materialistic people, don't judge others. You don't know what a great yogi that person is. In past life, you don't know who he was, who she was, right? Respectfully call everybody to spiritual programs, or you share spiritual knowledge respectfully, and you never know who will accept it. The person sitting beside you might be the first time coming to satsang, but he might be a great yogi in past life. He might advance very, very fast as compared to you. There is one Prabhuji who came, attended satsang, he became brahmachari also. Right? He dedicated his life. And other people sitting beside him are like, chalega, aram se. Right? Some devotees surrender very fast. Some devotees take more time. Should not never compare people. In devotional life, never compare people. You can appreciate the devotee is going so nicely up. But you should never compare others saying that you're not taking more progress. Because everybody is going through their own path. Everybody is going through their own cycle. 45. We're almost done. Just hold on. Prayatnad yatamanastu yogi samshuddha kilbisha aneka janma siddhim samsiddhas tato yati param gatin. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Right? Sometimes it takes many lives of practice. Sometimes anarthas don't go immediately. Sometimes one has to practice spiritual life for many births. But don't become hopeless. This might be a last birth also. It all depends on our surrender. How soon, how much endeavor, how much serious I am about spiritual life. If I show that seriousness, this might be my last life only. Right? Tapasvibho adhiko yogi jnanibhyo api mato adhikam karmibhyas chadhiko yogi tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Now Krishna is telling who is the yogi. Right? Now next two verses are very important. A yogi is greater than ascetic, greater than an emphyrist, and greater than a fruitative worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. He's saying, ऐसे ही तपस्या करने वालों से योगी उत्तम है. He is greater than a person who is just having knowledge. He is greater than a person who is just doing things. A yogi is greater than all of these positions to become a yogi. Now first he is telling become a yogi. Now next verse is a concluding verse where Lord Krishna says who is the best yogi. He is telling become a yogi, but he is going to tell who is the best yogi. Please, we should by heart this verse, a very important verse. Yoginam api sarvesham मद गतेनांतिर आत्मना श्रद्धावान भजते यो माम समे युक्तात्मनो मना. Now he is telling who is a perfect yogi. He is saying, and of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Conclusion. Right? You can read the whole purport. It's a huge purport where Prabhupada explained there are so many yogas: Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, right? So many Hatha Yoga. There are so many yogas are there. But ultimately, who is the perfect yogi? After doing all these things, the one who perfectly follows my instruction, perfectly always thinks about me. Yogina, Mam. Mam means what? Me. You know, some Mayavadis, they give the commentary. Mam means some, it's not God, he's talking about himself or yourself or some self. They'll create some nonsensical interpretation. Very clearly saying, Mam, the one who thinks in me. Who is that me? Who is talking here? One Bhaktara Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, not something cubelet, not some impersonal. Mam, I am very clear, it's me. Right? So if some yoga teacher is coming and telling meditation karo, this is highest. Excuse me, what is verse number 6.47? पढ़ा है आपने? नहीं, मुझे नहीं भगवद गीता चाहिए. All those people who will take you to different yoga paths don't like Bhagavad Gita. I bet on it. They don't like Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because Bhagavad Gita tells the truth. They are doing business. We are doing bhakti. Did I ever tell, follow me? What am I telling? What is Prabhupada telling? Is Prabhupada telling, follow me? Is he saying that I am the Acharya, follow me? No, he's saying, follow Krishna. Follow Krishna's instruction. That's why it's called Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any interpretation. Krishna is speaking. Mam, serve me, think of me, surrender to me, and become a yogi. That yogi is the best among all yogis. Bhakt bano. Okay, Bhakt bano. Karmi, Jnani, Yogi, say Uttam Bhakt. Bhakt bano. Become a devotee. And to become a devotee, nothing but think about Krishna, never forget Krishna, do everything for Krishna, always remember Krishna, always speak about Krishna, always serve Krishna, and always serve Krishna's devotees. Yeah? So you can read the purports. It's a beautiful chapter. Thus ends the Bhakti and the purports. So the 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga ends with what? Dhyana Yoga means Dhyana on who? Krishna. Always remember that. Hare Krishna. So next week we'll go to 7th chapter. So actually the first 6 chapters is the first bread on the sandwich. Next 6 chapters is the cutlet in between the sandwich. Last 6 chapters is another bread. Right? Bhagavad Gita divided into 3 sections. Top portion is Karma Yoga. Under portion is Jnana Yoga. In between is Bhakti Yoga. From tomorrow, from next chapter, we are going to start Bhakti Yoga. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th is Bhakti Yoga, where Krishna is going to give the essence of Bhagavad Gita. He is going to tell who is he, who are these devatas, and why you have to surrender to me, who am I. He will give his great darshan, and he will talk about Bhakti Yoga in 12th chapter. And then after that, he gives more Gyan. Because after hearing this also people run away. So he gives more Gyan. Then Jnana Yoga starts. Any questions? Anybody? No questions? Sabhi ko bhook laga hai kya? Yeah. Think about it. You can ask questions. There are always questions that come to you. Prabhuji? Yes. Samadhi means bhakti. Samadhi means bhakti. Without bhakti, there is no meaning to samadhi. And samadhi means what, Prabhuji? Beautiful thing. Samadhi means to be completely absorbed in something. In God. When you are absorbed in God, that is bhakti. For example, a mother and a child. Mother is in samadhi. We can say that. Why? Mother is always thinking about the child. Like Mataji is here. Two of them are here. So she is hearing me. But two of them are behind the wall. What is she thinking? क्या कर रहे तुम? है कि नहीं? Naturally, you are always thinking about your child because he's too adolescent. He can't take care of himself. So you're always thinking about the child. Even when the child grows, he'll go to MIT University also. Still, a mother is thinking, खाना खाया नहीं खाया? हाँ? अच्छा health है कि नहीं है? That's what. That is samadhi. Samadhi means what? Absorbed. Absorbed. But in that absorption, when we bring Krishna, that is bhakti. Right? So when all of you are only hearing right now about Krishna Katha, actually you are in samadhi. For some time you were in samadhi. Samadhi is not like वो JCB लाके क्या बोलते हैं बड़ा होल बना के अंदर बैठो उसको पत्थर डालो ऊपर. That is not samadhi. That is called burial. That is called burial. Don't mix burial and samadhi as same. Right? That's the conception the society has created. Samadhi means being absorbed. Completely absorbed. And when you absorb yourself in Krishna, that is dhyana yoga. That is actual dhyana yoga. I mean, that is bhakti. Chanting, meditation means what? Dhyanam. Meditation means dhyanam. But what does scripture saying? Dhyayeto Vishnu. Focus on the Vishnu. Focus on the Krishna. Not some, just feeling like there are some, I don't know what all is happening today in the name of meditation. Nonsense is going on. People will make you sleep. अभी सभी लोग बैठे हैं, सभी लोग मुंह बंद कीजिए, आंख बंद कीजिए, नाक मत बंद करो, मर जाओगे. हाँ? अभी सो ऐसे रहो. अभी तुम्हारे अंदर एक लाइट आ रहा है, लाइट जा रहा है, हवा आ रहा है, हवा जा रहा है, पागल हो रहे हो, क्या हो रहे हो? हाँ? That's all is going on. And people are paying for that also. Oh, Krishna. That's what is going on. At least we are fortunate. We have learned in Bhagavad Gita what is dhyana. Right? Do you think I have misdirected you? I have repeated what Krishna is telling here. Word by word he is telling. Controlling your mind is important in spiritual life. Controlling your desires is important in spiritual life. And attaining samadhi means thinking about whom? Thinking about Krishna. So when you are doing, when a Mataji is cooking in the house and making bhoga for Krishna, is she in samadhi? She is in samadhi. That is real samadhi. That is meaningful samadhi. Rather than cooking for 1,000 people outside, you are cooking for Krishna. And then you feed 1,000 people. That is samadhi. That is bhakti. Let us pray to Lord Narsimha that he will protect our bhakti. Right? Our bhakti is very small, creeper like small, somewhere inside the heart. It can easily fall. So we will pray to Lord Narsimha that he will protect our bhakti. Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranya Kashi Korvaksha Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho Yato Yato Yami Tato Narasimho Baher Narasimho Hidare Narasimho Narasimhamadin Sharanam Prapate Abhakara Kamala Gare Nata Adhuta Shinga Andalika Hiranyakashipu Anukunda Keshavadeta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Sabakara Kamala Hare Nata Adhuta Shinga Darita Hiranyakashipu नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, डॉक्टर शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की, ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता ग्रंथ की, मयम कृषि मॉर्निंग सत्संग की, my God प्रेमानंद, all assembled devotees की, my God. Please have prasadam. I have a meeting to attend, so I'll have to go a little early, but you all can nicely have prasadam and Rohi, can you help me take these things to my home?